On November 17th, 2023, the long-awaited time for many fans of Nintendo had finally come. What once seemed like a fantasy that not even Reggie could bring into life was finally happening. And no, I don't mean the release of Mother 3. We're still waiting on that one. I'm looking at you, Nintendo Switch Online. The remake for Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, now just called Super Mario RPG, released on the Switch. Nearly 30 years ago, with development starting in 1994, Nintendo and Square teamed up for a collaboration that would bring the world of Mario into a whole new dimension. A dimension of RPGs, where it's seen success ever since. But in 1996, Super Mario RPG was a gamble to release. Would gamers enjoy it? Would Miyamoto's seemingly golden touch continue to make Midas turn green with envy? The answer to both was a resounding yes, as the release was both critically acclaimed and absolutely loved by fans, selling enough to be ranked as the third best-selling game in 1996 in all of Japan and the sixth best-selling in the US. At one point, it was even the most rented game for 14 weeks straight, blowing Nintendo's expectations way out of the water. To this day, the game holds a grip on many gamers' hearts, with used copies of the original going on places like eBay for upwards of $100, and influences seen in games as recent as 2023's runaway indie RPG hit Sea of Stars. The original game has been released again over the years on the SNES Classic, or the SNES Mini as most of us call it, and on Virtual Console for both the Wii and the Wii U. But still, gamers have yearned for a modern take on a classic that for some was their launching pad into the world of RPGs. And their prayers were finally answered in a Nintendo Direct in June of 2023. It was announced that not only was a remake coming, but that it would be later that very same year that it would release, which leads us to the game itself. If there was ever a blueprint for remaking a game while keeping true to the original, this is it. Very few changes were made to the overall game. There have been some name changes, such as Princess Toadstool now being called Princess Peach, and Frog Fuchsius, or Frogalicious as I tend to call him, being renamed to the much easier to pronounce Frog Sage. Also a few less important name changes and updates, but the story is largely untouched. Other than that, the visuals have been updated to beautiful, full 3D models. And there's a newly arranged soundtrack by the original composer, Yoko Shimomura, which you can switch back and forth to in the game from the original one back from 1996, which is absolutely amazing to be able to do. The gameplay, it's just how you remember it. But the turn-based combat is where the remake has been updated the most, with some quality of life improvements, all of which are very welcome, I'd say. They even added in a splash damage effect to your basic attacks, and a new action gauge that fills up as you successfully pull off those action commands, the time button pressing, across the battles. When it's full, you can pull off new, powerful, and flashy triple moves, each of which comes with an awesome 3D cutscene, which changes depending on who you have in your current party. Now, it's not all roses. The one thing I would have loved to have seen from this remake is voice acting. I don't know. In 2023, an RPG without voice acting just feels empty in some way, even if it's Japanese with English subtitles. There's nothing really major that's changed, and while I do love that it stayed true to the original, I do have to admit that this was a pretty bare bones effort in the world of remakes. I'm very hesitant to say this is a money grab, but you know, if Nintendo wants to take some of their greatest classic games and give them a modern polish and some quality of life improvements for a money grab, then shut up and take my money. Maybe we can get an Earthbound HD collection next, Nintendo? And that's it, guys. What'd you think? You think I was being a little too hard on the game? Or do you agree that they should have put more effort into it? Maybe some more changes. Maybe some extra bosses or hidden levels. Did you think the lack of voice acting took away from it? Or is that something you don't even care about or even notice? Now, do you want to see that sequel? Or maybe that Earthbound HD collection? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, this is Azure Tony. Today, we found some fun in gaming, and I hope you enjoyed yourselves too. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Catch you next time.